Okay, okay. I But if you burn too bad, like, it just peels, right? And then you're back at step 1, so okay, indeed. He's entitled to whine a little on his birthday. Yes, I know, but, it's his birthday week. It's his birthday month, you know? Yeah, he just, well, no, it's like one of those people on, like, do you ever watch, Financial Audit with Caleb Hammer? Oh, okay. If you wanna learn why people, need government, it's because it's because they live the way they do on Financial Audit, and, yeah, people will be like, "What are you talking about? I'm supposed to, like, not spend 3 times my income just because it's my, when it's my birthday month?" He's like, "We're not even talking about a birthday. You have a birthday month." And apparently it's a thing. People go on like entire like month-long trips to like Disney and cruises in Europe and Central America and shit like that. And they just like they don't even care what they put on their credit card for an entire month. And he's like, why are you $20,000 in credit card debt just in the month of, June? It's like I can't help it. Here's my birthday was, like, on a Tuesday this month, and so, like, okay, I had, like, a nice dinner with my girlfriend, and, then, like, I had a friend thing on Saturday, and I joked, "Oh, it's my birthday week," because it's like I didn't wanna invite friends to, like, go out on a Tuesday on my actual birthday, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, we'll do something Saturday, it's fine." Birthday week, woo, slay, mm, yeah. Oh yeah, totally. But I mean, it's always like I would always make the joke like when friends were turning 25 and like we're all around the same age or whatever. So it's like "Hey, you can rent a car." The next big one's 35 is yeah, run for president or senate or something like that. Indeed. Indeed. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Uh, all I'm or when I say government, or is like why some people seem to need government, what I mean is Aristotle's observation that some people are natural slaves. Like if you finance burritos and like Coachella tickets, you are a natural slave. It doesn't. Mm, mhm. So, yeah. Yeah. Is that a good pre-show? We should probably launch in. It's like 4 minutes in. No, nothing ever happened. Nothing happened. Oh,
But it's okay
wait,
because
let's see.
we're
Are there
good.
people in
We
the stream?
we just now have people coming in. We just now do, and I got dual audio lighting
Nope.
up. We're good to
Oh.
go. So episode
Oh.
176, as I said, the title was ICE BBB, but Elon Musk and Donald Trump are having a slap fight on Twitter. And that's what I originally said before I realized his microphone was off. But welcome. That's the first thing we'll talk about. Man, talk about, what was it, 6 months ago? Was November? No, a little bit more. 8 now. 7.
Yeah, 7 or 8. Yeah.
And Musk
Depends what
is
day you're
like
measuring to.
on Joe Rogan's podcast on election day talking up Donald Trump and how voting for Trump is like the last way to save like democracy as we know it here in the United States, because we haven't heard that tagline before. And now he's openly saying that the reason they're not releasing the Epstein files is because Trump is on the list of the Epstein files, which is very possible. Also, apparently, Trump is responding by threatening to cut all of Tesla's subsidies. Like, if not all, then almost all.
That and the contracts for SpaceX.
That too, yeah.
Honestly, is it a little bit more of a big deal? People will still buy Teslas, but outside of, well, okay, from one perspective, literally, there is no other reliable way to get astronauts on or off of the space station right now, unless we're going to negotiate with the Russians to let them come down on Soyuz again.
Oh.
And I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Especially since all those bombers blew up over the
when
past
Donald
weeks.
Trump says we're going to cut all SpaceX contracts immediately, and Elon's like, yeah, we're going to cut or we're decommissioning Dragon capsules right now. And it's like all those astronauts that just got into the space station,
they're just like, fuck!
They're just like, oh, thank fucking God that we can use Dragon capsules to get up and down, and we're not stranded with the Boeing Starliner, like those last people were for like 6 months. And then all of them are reading that, and they're like, oh fuck,
God damn it!
We're gonna be here for a year, man.
I should have taken that post at Antarctica, man. At least I could have gotten a ship back home. Oh man, that sucks. All the gravity is gonna leach the calcium from their bones. Oh well.
That the subsidies, like, people will buy EVs if they want EVs.
I mean, if they want, but like
expensive.
Government subsidies make up like a major portion of like Tesla's revenue. Like they might not. I'm not saying it'll kill the company, but it'll hurt for sure.
I think it's the same margin that probably foreign car makers who are paying tariffs now are going to have to eat.
Okay.
And so, like, unless you're and like who's in the market for a Ford F-150 Lightning It's like it's not happening, bro.
Dudes
So
for
like the
Kamala.
if you're gonna buy a little small commuter EV, you're gonna get a Nissan Leaf or some shit like that.
Exactly.
And if you want a performance EV, you're gonna get like the BMW or a Porsche or the Tesla, Model Plaid, and the subsidy doesn't really matter to you because you have money for that anyways.
Exactly. Like
Um,
you're not in need of subsidization.
yeah, and then which has been the ridiculous part that like there's literally $100,000 cars and they're getting subsidized. It's like
Hmm.
fuck you.
Seriously.
Come on. Like it makes sense for like maybe those little like Chevy Sparks and like the commuter EVs, like what it's meant. I think that's what it's really meant for.
Hmm.
Or like if we're like, oh, we're gonna put like this EV was somebody could buy a normal gas car for around the same price, but now we're gonna put the EV around that to offset the fact that it fucking doesn't last for 5 years.
Hmm.
And you'll have to replace the whole battery for what is the price of the entire car instead of a gas car that lasts for 20, 30 years if you maintain it properly.
Exactly.
Um, so they but yeah, there was that like little calculus, I think, but obviously it like ended up being a subsidy where it's like, oh, I wanted a fucking, Mach E, Ford Mustang that's like $100,000 car. I'll take $7,000 off of it. It
Yeah,
doesn't really
man.
matter to my bottom line, like, but fuck you, Um, so yeah, so the subsidies, I don't think they'll hurt Tesla that much because like, what's
Okay.
their cheapest car? Even let me look at this.
20 or 30 thou, I think, maybe. Like a really base model.
Oh, I'd be surprised if they had
I mean,
anything
maybe those
under
are like
20.
old prices. The old price
Yeah,
model.
I'd be really surprised if it was under 30 for anything.
I'm gonna get a third opinion.
So their
Scooby,
Model S, I'm pretty sure, is the smallest one.
what do you think about the current situation between President Trump and Elon Musk? What do you think about this? Do you have anything to say?
Okay.
He's thinking about it.
He's thinking about it. So the current cheapest Tesla is a base price of $43,000.
43. Okay.
Yeah, and the long range version is 48K. Performance model is 55. And but that is when you or 50, sorry, 55. They all qualify for the $7,500 tax credit. So like that does bring it back down to like, oh, I could have bought like a base model BMW. But it's like people in the market for fucking BMWs and Teslas don't need subsidies.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Well, the more you know.
The more you know.
I hadn't looked that up before. So there's some fallout from the spat.
A little bit.
Whose side do you think ultimately, if you had to pick?
I mean, if they somehow both lose, I think that would be like my choice, because that's like, in a way, they already have both lost by like having this public spat. But
Yeah. Yeah, it's the
ultimately,
fact that they couldn't have message discipline and just disagree about it in private.
seriously,
I
yeah.
mean, Musk was already leaving Doge, right?
He
Like,
was. I also like. There is, of course, that side of me that's just like they're doing this on purpose. This is either a distraction from something else, or there's like some long term. Ooh, you had a finger. You had an idea. What was that?
well, oh, did you see what the Democrats tweeted?
No. What did they tweet?
Let me bring this up.
Oh
Let
boy.
me bring this up, Danny.
Oh boy.
Um, where is it? Where is it? Oh, honestly, this whole page would be worth scrolling through.
Yep.
So let me just share the screen.
Gotcha. Oh, I have audio
Congrats on the
problems.
technical
We're
difficulties.
like we're like podcast inception here.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so that last bit on we might need to cut out on the final episode a little bit.
Okay,
Okay,
we can do that. Timestamp. What time? How long are we into this?
7:44.
7:44. Okay. First 15 minutes heavily redact. Really, dude?
All right, I gotta find this. All right, yeah, I know you can lurk without logging in. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I think I
Oh,
can.
I see.
Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't really let me. It's just like I don't want to show my like Twitter account name and stuff on
No,
the
yeah,
screen.
of course, yeah. That's don't want to
So
accidentally dox yourself.
yeah, that's where I'm at. Anyways, that the Democrats did tweet release the Epstein files, which is like what kind of 4D chess is going on?
Like they're getting the
That
Democrats to demand releasing the files.
yeah, that they got the Democrats to demand releasing the Epstein files. They're also against the bill for some reason.
Of course.
The overspending bill.
Hmm. Well, I mean,
Where
it's a
is it?
Republican bill. They have to be against it on principle.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, here's the tweet from 5 hours ago: is kill the bill and release the Epstein files from the Democrats. And then the Democrats also posted a picture of Trump and Melania and Jeffrey and Ghislaine Maxwell.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Fair enough. I mean, the stuff with Trump and Epstein that's been circulating since like his first administration. Like the photos of them hanging out.
Yeah.
Like
Well, he has said on a before, like back in the early 2000s or whatever, he was like, "Oh, when like Jeff first got prosecuted, and like got a slap on the wrist, he's like, "Oh, Jeff, he likes some young,
yeah, he
likes,
did
you
say that.
know,
Yeah.
yeah." And it's like, well, I think the reason the Epstein files haven't been released by either side is because both sides are so compromised by it.
Hmm. I think there's
And
literally
and
like whatever there is about Trump. I feel like if it was significant enough that they could have leaked it somehow, they would have. But it's either tied into something else that would like be such like basically cutting off your nose to spite your own face. I hope I'm using that correctly. Or it's really both sides just don't want to give up how compromised our own politicians are by like Mossad. Like how many of them are actually under
yeah,
like active surveillance and are being surveyed and like influenced in ways like who was Epstein working for and like what was he using? Obviously, like he had information on all of these people and like what was the point of collecting this information? Who was he collecting it for? Who was he working for? Why? Would have to come up for real, and neither side wants that to come out.
yeah. No, I think the thing might be for the Democrats at this point is that the people involved on their side are so out of power or unelected at this point that they can probably finally say that.
Yeah.
Whereas the Republicans, like, I mean, the fact that like Trump never really came clean on the Epstein files when it was like a big campaign promise, and they had this big like press release, and then it like never
Fucking
materialized.
Pam Bondi. Pam!
So to me, I'm like, oh well, yeah, checks out.
Yeah.
I mean, no, it was always telling. Do you remember when the House Republican leader got prosecuted and had to like very unceremoniously leave office in like 2006 or 8,
I don't remember
and
the actual
for
event, but I remember like doing research on it. Like we looked it up previously for something, so I know this is a thing.
the Republican leader uh child
While you're looking that up, Missile Launch says, "Sorry, I missed the opening. I had to run an errand. Have we discussed horse pornography tonight?" No, we actually
Hassert.
have Hassert. Okay, yes.
Yeah. He at 2007 he resigned and started working as a lobbyist. Then in 2016 sentenced for 15 months in prison for sexual abuse of teenage boys.
Only
15
15
months?
months? Fuck.
It's just like all those, and this was the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Yeah. Well, that's why he only got 15 months.
Yeah, right. So anyways, and like the Democrats like never mentioned this, and like there was like this gentleman's agreement to be like, oh, we're not gonna play this up, you know, like they
Yeah.
could easily win so many people over by just being like, hey, you guys are the pedos, and they never did.
They tiptoe around it because they don't want to use, like, they would call it minor attracted persons as like a bludgeon, which right there is the root of the problem, because they see pedophilia differently than most, thankfully, than most Americans see it. As in, thankfully, most
But no,
Americans don't
this
think
is
it's
2007. This is
right. But
2007.
I mean, these people were
There
around then.
wasn't that whole.
There wasn't that many. Like, it wasn't talked about openly as it is today, but like, it was there. It was there, man. Namble is old. Namble is old.
Yeah, that's fair. Honestly, when NAMBLA first came out, it was like kind of a toss up in society. It made it seem normal. They were like, "Hey, we're just a certain kind of guys and gals, you know, out there." And like very prominent public intellectuals. You got like the French philosophers and like economists and, you know, writers who are all saying like the exact stuff that Milo said, that like, you know, oh hey, it's very normal. It's the way like all of this is done.
Yeah.
And it only really went underground in like the 90s.
90s, 2000s. Like, NAMBLA was
Yeah.
disbanded in 2006, but they were founded in 78.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when it really started to like get driven underground, thankfully. But
And remember, you know, Ginsburg,
mm,
a Supreme Court justice, was like openly defending the right to possess child pornography her
yeah,
entire life. That was until what, 2018,
yep.
2016. So there you go.
Mm.
Uh, oh, my screen is flashing and I don't know why. Are you there? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We can see you. You were a little blurry.
Okay, I don't know what that was about.
That was
Cool.
Mossad tapping
So,
our computers. We're being recorded right now.
hello.
I mean, they don't.
I love
What's
Israel.
up, L'chaim?
It's beautiful olive trees.
I love olive trees. I one day wish to go put on the hat and wail at the wall. That would be an excellent start to our political
We pointed
careers.
out that like JD Vance was like, "Oh, I don't want to cede American sovereignty and feel like you know, like our elected officials are not beholden to the people and kiss
Yeah.
the Pope's ring
But
as a devout Catholic."
But you'll go to the wall, you fucker. Like, they were also making fun of him because I guess he did some appearances on Ash Wednesday and he didn't have the ash. Which is like, if you don't have the fucking ash, like, you're not Catholic. Like,
he,
it's like
he
not.
might not be as serious as people have led us on to believe. That
I mean, yeah, it certainly sounds nice, I guess. But oh wait, there's like rules and shit. I mean, I can't exactly. That's one of many reasons why I actually did not go forward with like actually joining the Catholic Church. I don't have anything against Catholicism, but like, I openly disagree with some things that we don't need to go into. But yeah, I also
we can discuss it later.
we can discuss weird tangent.
So
yeah.
So you could probably announce anything if you've got something on your chest tonight. Now's a great time because almost nobody will pay attention to it. I think is the thing in general, right? Like this is going to be a very low viewership podcast for us, I think. Speaking of which, Ukrainian capital is burning after heavy Russian cruise missile strikes.
Oh, that's a good tangent into So we figured that was gonna happen. Apparently Ukraine pulled off some like pretty funky attack on the Russian strategic bomber fleet. They claim to have hit.
Let me refresh my drink. You can
Okay.
Explain.
Yeah, okay. So I'm probably gonna have to look up an article for this, but Ukraine launched a drone strike into Russia, and essentially there's disagreements on the number of like strategic, i.e. nuclear capable bombers that were struck by this drone strike. But they had these trucks full of these drones drive in, and they were just left there by these drivers who probably had no idea what they were hauling. They're just like, all right, hook up your trailer and go. So they get to the drop site. They leave their truck. Oh, surprise! The truck is full of drones. So the drones all deploy and they go out. And this is like some Ace Combat shit, first of all. Like, this is literally the plot of Ace Combat 7 right now. Secondly, they go and they hit...
Play some Ace Combat now that I have a joystick again.
Hell yeah, dude. I have 7. Like, I've probably played through 7's campaign 20 plus times. Like, I've had it since it came out, and like, it's good. It hits the stim in all the right places, and it's fun. I'm good at it. I totally get why airline pilots drink now and fly their planes. It's so much fun to be a little boozy and like fly a plane. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like your skills are actually a little bit better because like you don't have the fear as much, so you're able to maximize what you can get.
It smooths out your inputs, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It just lets you feel things, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like you're more intuition driven, less logical driven, so you're less jumpy, like you're just rolling with it. And the plane feels that shit too, man. Like
my pilot girlfriend is laughing.
Oh, I forgot
in horror as we talk about this.
Look, I'm not saying you have to say on video that drinking makes flying more fun. All I'm saying is that drinking makes flying more fun. I'll say it.
Listen, I think just with drunk driving, it should be assessed on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, man. Like,
all right.
Yeah.
Some people can handle it. Some others can't.
Exactly.
You know?
So what about
This is real libertarianism?
This is real libertarianism. Yeah. I was gonna say texting while flying. Is that okay?
Texting while flying? I assume, yeah. As long as you got a co-pilot or like who takes over for a minute. That's the other thing about like flying is like you almost always have somebody else.
Oh,
like who's always able to take over the controls. Or
unless you're Amelia Earhart or other pilots who vanished.
Many such cases.
I mean, there's also JFK Jr. He had his wife, but I guess that didn't work out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, yeah. So, okay, they raided the airfield.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things is like, you might ask yourself, hey, what was like the Russian strategic bomber fleet doing sitting out on the outside of the hangars on the runway in the middle of the day, like, vulnerable to any kind of attack?
Yeah.
And the reason is we have an open skies treaty with Russia that we have agreed that our strategic bombers are always reasonably, like at least a percentage of them are always open to the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And our surveillance satellites can see each other's bombers. And we know if they're not there or they're missing, that we need to react or something like that. It's a trust but verify thing.
Yeah.
It goes back to Reagan. It's part of our nuclear deterrence treaty so that we don't nuke each other, that we agreed to put our bombers out in the open like that. And so the fact that the Ukrainians would abuse that, they don't even use these bombers for normal like airstrikes in Ukraine.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was gonna say. Like, there are no T-190s or like that with the 4-jet engine strike one. That's like one of their biggest like nuclear capable ones. It's not being used to bomb fucking trenches in Ukraine.
They're not carpet bombing trenches. They use artillery and drones and they have fighter jets that might like do a guided missile or something like that. They have a lot of cruise missiles. The strategic bomber fleet only exists as part of nuclear's or Russia's nuclear deterrence thing, and destroying it eliminates the retaliatory effects of Russia's nuclear deterrence. This is a direct attack on Russia's ability to defend itself from a nuclear first strike.
And I'm also sure
this is like a big fucking deal when it comes to why the war's happening in the first place. This is exactly what Russia is like saying, like, we don't want to happen with an armed Ukraine right on our border.
Exactly.
And now, like, yeah, they're fucking bombing Kiev. They've been able to do this the entire time. They are bombing Kiev tonight. Like, major buildings are burning down, blown up. This is like, oh, the gloves are off. Like, you can't just do this to Russia and not expect something to happen.
I hope Lindsey Graham
cruise missiles and giant smokestacks over
Yeah.
over Kiev.
I just hope Lindsey Graham visiting Ukraine in the past couple of weeks, I hope he was able to take in the sites, because a lot of those sites are probably going to be like craters in the next couple of days. And also, we won't talk at all about why Lindsey Graham was visiting Ukraine over the past couple of weeks, or whether or
Listen,
not.
just like any other Christian conservative single 60-year-old guy, um,
Hey, man, brother.
who's never been seen with a woman in public,
Of course,
um, you
being
just go
seen with a
visit.
woman in public, women like men. That's gay. Like,
um, you just go and visit the boys out in Ukraine with their
mhm.
very, their alpha male president
Of
who
course.
likes to play instruments with his penis on TV. Okay.
Yeah.
And, has little baggies of white stuff with, you know, other European presidents out on table.
It's
There's
whatever.
no reason that you would
No,
spend $400,000 on a hotel otherwise, right?
no, yeah,
You're
exactly. I
just hanging
mean,
out. You're a bunch of alpha males
exactly. You just like discussing
just going out.
masculinity, like it's like that meme, like of Jordan Peterson and, oh God, who's the bald dude? Andrew Tate, the fucking bald women
Yeah.
trafficker faggot. Him
Yeah.
and Donald Trump and like, oh fuck, I don't know, Jocko. We're like sitting at a table. It's like that meme. It's like you're with the girl of your dreams, but this table calls and asks you to come over. What do you do? And like all the fake alpha males are like, oh, you answer the phone.
Men. Hard men.
Hard men, men who carry the boats.
Oh man. Good stuff.
So, so yeah, you can't
The
just strike at Russia's nuclear deterrent system and just not expect consequences. But I'm sure they plan for this.
oh wow.
What?
I wonder if this video is real. Let me see.
Stream.
Okay. I think I can share this. Because when you're all right, can you see it?
Hang on. Yes. What's up? Oh! Oh, that's a big bomb. Whew.
I guess we're waiting for the soundbite.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's
yep. Wow. This is over Kiev, right?
There's some Iskander cruise missile. I don't know if they're targeting like government buildings or defense ministry buildings or stuff like that.
I think the threshold for engagement has been lowered.
Yeah. So yeah, they seem to pulled off one of the gloves there, because like anybody who knows about the military capabilities of like Russia, modern military, like would know that like they could destroy Kiev tomorrow if they really wanted to. Like,
Using conventional weapons. Like, you don't.
using conventional weapons.
Yeah.
So
well, I'm sure nothing will happen. Nothing ever happens.
nothing ever happens.
Oh, what else? What else? Ooh, so there is some positive news. Were you aware of the lawsuit that Mexico had filed against U.S. gun manufacturers, specifically like Glock and Smith & Wesson, attempting to hold them financially and like legally responsible for violence from Mexican drug cartels?
I was not aware, but
Okay, so
sounds plausible.
sounds
Or
that they would
sounds
do
like something Mexico would do.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the Supreme Court today ruled unanimously against Mexico and threw out the lawsuit. Fucking
I'm sorry. Getting Jackson and Sotomayor.
yeah,
on
man.
board with that?
Fucking Jackson Sotomayor, and what's the lesbian looking one? It starts with a K.
Kagan?
Kagan, yeah, her. Like getting all three of them to actually vote against an anti-gun thing, it's just like you fucked up, bro.
That is hilarious.
That is.
They could come together about that of all
Mhm.
things. Like, is a little weird. Let's see what else. So we'll see how the Kiev and the Ukrainian government does
Hmm.
overnight here. Um,
I know Zelensky will be fine. He's probably not even in Ukraine right now.
oh no, I bet he's in Switzerland or something.
Probably, yeah, with one of those little white baggies.
We talked a lot about Musk and
Mm.
Doge and stuff.
Oh, one.
Musk reblogged Ian Miles Chong, our favorite, you know, Singaporean right wing
Yeah.
uh, poster that is the authority on all things. That Trump should be impeached.
Oh boy.
Which, yeah, I'm like, okay, if let's say, let's war game this out. Let's say Trump just ignores it and says, "No, I'm not releasing the Epstein files to clear my name."
Hmm.
Then everybody's going to think he's guilty at that point.
Hmm.
And then when the Democrats take over the House, maybe in the midterms,
Maybe.
they could impeach him, and then you get a Vance presidency.
But it would have to go through the Senate too, because they already did impeach him in the House once in his previous presidency, and it
No, he
failed
has to
him.
get convicted in the Senate. I
Yeah.
get that.
Mm.
What are the Dems' prospects in the Senate? And honestly, they could flip a few votes. You know what?
Mm.
I would say you could get Rand and Mike Lee and a few maybe other Republican senators to be like, you know what? I'll take your bet. Vance presidency.
Mm.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I could see it. I could
I
see it.
I could see it. It's really. I think it's just too soon to tell. Like it feels like so much has happened, and it's been so long. This presidency. We are only January, February, March, April, May. We are 6 months into this presidency. Like we
Mhm.
really got a whole year before we're going to get any sort of like viable feel on like how the midterms are going to go. And for all of this to be happening already, it's just like who can possibly keep up? Like it's so radical week to week.
I think you know there's a part of the Republican base or like the tech right base that's on Elon's side
Mm-hmm.
that would say like, hey, you guys finally got what you wanted on immigration. Like they closed the border, we're
Mm-hmm.
deporting people. Um, you control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. There is absolutely no reason we can't have a balanced budget. This is something you've ran on for 30 years,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Um,
And
or not
this
even 30
is
years, like 100 years. Like this has been one of the defining things of the Republican Party forever.
mhm.
It's like, oh, we're fiscal conservatives. That's the whole thing. So, um, I think the fact that Trump kind of delivered on like closing the border, they're like, okay, well, you got to deliver on this other thing, and that's why they're going a little bit nuclear with like Musk saying like, oh, you're a pedo or
Yeah.
something. Like, prove that you're not a pedo is basically what he is
What
saying. He's been directly accused Trump. He's like, well, if you don't want to prove that you're not on the Epstein list, like, release him.
See, on the one hand, I understand that. The other thing is, like, for him to come out like this, obviously there has to be some, like, knowledge previously on his part that, like, he either suspected or knew that Trump was in the files. Did Musk not bring his children around Donald Trump on several occasions?
Yeah, I think his kids are all a little young
Yeah,
for what the profile was. You know what
right.
I mean?
But if
Like
I,
Epstein was never like little kids. I hate to downplay it, like because it was horrific, right? But
it
it was
was
like they were
horrific, yeah.
teens.
But I mean, there's
I
a
think
question
I
there.
think the way the Epstein thing worked was that it was like you get some people drunk on your plane and take them to your private island, and then it's like, by the way, we filmed it all, and those girls weren't 18 and 19 and 20; they were 17 and 16 and 15 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, um, not defending the people who took part
No,
in
of
it or
course.
all that stuff. I think it was a little more covert than people like give it.
Hmm.
You know.
I mean, I could
Uh,
see that, but like, who's to say there weren't some people who, I don't know, they had to use some individuals who were a little bit younger in order to really get them in. Like,
yeah.
you don't. I really hope not. Like, obviously it's horrific, but like, the idea that they would only use teenagers is not as bad as them actually going like super young. But again, if you think a person has a, again, you would not want to associate obviously with somebody who has these kinds of tastes. But assuming let's say you're Elon Musk and you know Donald Trump has these tastes and you know maybe other people do, would you risk it? Would you bring you just like obviously it's like there's cameras there the whole time, but it's like the whole time, like really would you
No,
risk it?
that no, and I think it's a valid point. A lot of people are bringing up is like, yeah, why are you bringing your young kids
Yeah,
around? What you're accusing is a pedophile, even if he's a straight pedophile. You know,
yeah.
it's like
And like this is the other thing,
do it.
Elon is fucking weird, man. Like he's got all of these baby mamas. Some he slept with, some he hasn't. He's like,
He's like a horse in a Glock factory.
yeah. He's like, there's also like some images. I don't know how.
Cattle? It's not horses. I don't know.
No, it is horse. Yeah, it's.
Okay.
You're correct. There's also I've seen some images online of like him supposedly getting caught liking weird things on Twitter, and that's why likes are now private.
He's been horny on Maine.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Times.
Like this is an individual, and when he's horny on Maine, it's been some like questionably weird shit. Like it's in line with what like some weird tech bro would be into, but at the same time, it's just like. Like, I'm not saying Elon is also on the Epstein files because, like, obviously, if he knows he's in there, he probably wouldn't be that stupid. But, like, I don't know, man. When you're angry, like, when a person like this is angry and supposedly isn't getting their way, and, like, I don't know. Like, it's just a weird ass situation. Like, it's funny to watch. It's also kind of just like, oh, fuck, this is the state of our government. But it's like, why did you wait until now? Why did you bring your kids around him? Like, what are you doing on the side?
Okay, yeah, you got to war game it from Elon's perspective or from Trump's perspective. Like what Elon's accusing is saying like, "Oh, I was on board to like, slash the budget and make, it possible for me to do the things I want to do, civilizationally and like his aspiration is to like colonize Mars, and he's like, oh, I can't do that if the US government goes bankrupt.
Yep.
And so like if his thing is like, oh, I will bite the bullet. I know that Donald Trump's a pedophile, but if I can actually like fix the US government long enough to make it so I can colonize Mars, like it's worth it.
I could see that.
I think that's maybe where. I mean that would have to be Elon's.
He probably fancies himself like he idolizes.
That's what he's telling at this point. It's
yeah.
Like, oh, I was willing to tolerate him, like knowing that he was on the Epstein list, as long as like I could get this thing done, because like it doesn't actually matter compared to like colonizing Mars.
What you want to bet he really sympathizes with Galen Erso from Star Wars? I bet he's like, yeah, man, that's me. I'm in here trying to balance the budget. I'm building the flaw into the Death Star reactor core, and I'm going to tell everyone about it at the right time. That's me, man. And
that's Mads' character, right?
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Huh.
I'm making that reference especially too because being a tech bro, Elon would of course know who Galen Erso is.
Sure. I need to rewatch Rogue One. It was actually like maybe the best Star Wars movies.
The newer Star Wars for sure. It was definitely one of the better ones. Like, of course, the iconic Vader in the hallway scene is like the peak of the movie. But overall, it was a good movie. Like compared to the sequels, compared to most of the TV stuff they put out, it holds up.
Yeah, I think well, the fact that like the battles and stuff that they had, and like they were very much flirting with an R rating.
Yeah,
that whole one, and it just didn't feel like a kids show anymore, or whatever. Like I rewatched all the prequels just recently, and I did enjoy them.
Mm-hmm.
But like the first one, and the second, well, no, the first one in particular is like definitely for a kid that's the same age as Anakin in that
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And the second one is for it's like it doesn't know where it wants to be.
Right. It like
Because
it kind
like
of
you
appeals
got
to the
Natalie
angsty.
Portman in like doing softcore porn.
Yeah.
It's like so much.
Anakin, we can't be together. No, this is wrong. That's why we're alone in my palace and the fireplace is lit. I had my servants do that. Do you
And I
like it?
got the
But we can't.
like
It's just like up
suit
here.
pushing up.
Like there's nothing but the Force holding these things together, man. Like
And like in that respect, like it does
Also,
reflect
hang on.
Anakin's age in that movie, which like I think he's supposed to be like 16, 17.
Yeah, let me look up their age difference real quick. Hold on. This is actually like
No, there's
Oh yeah, so there's a 5-year age gap. So when they met, Padme was 14 and Anakin was 9.
okay.
All right.
And then what's their age in Attack of the Clones? It's been 9
Attack
years, right?
of the
Or-
Clones, yeah, I believe. So in Attack of the
Or,
Clones, okay,
yeah.
all right, he's legal. Anakin's 19, Padme's 24. That's like, it's all right.
And then I guess it's been 5 years when you get to
Exactly.
Revenge of the Sith.
So then
But,
she's like 30 and he's like 25. So
Yeah. So whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
Doesn't matter that much at that age. But the first one, it was kind of weird to be
Little bit.
Anakin was 9. Like, anyways, what were we talking about? Oh, like it felt so kiddie. It
Mhm.
like and the tone of the movies changes so dramatically.
Yeah.
That, like it's the reason why Revenge of the Sith works
Mhm.
on its own.
Mhm.
And Attack of the Clones is just like that awkward middle child. Like it's
Mhm.
pretty good.
Yeah.
But you know, like half the movie is like Obi-Wan doing this fucking like noir detective. I'm chasing the bounty hunter and I found like the clone planet. I'm getting shot at by a fucking, you know, Jango Fett. And then like Anakin's out on fucking Naboo, like, you know,
Yeah, he's like
around in the field
with like the hot senator, or he's on fucking Tatooine committing a small genocide. Like it's real bipolar. Like it's like horny, violent. It's just like teenage years. That's exactly what it is.
Honestly, it perfectly encapsulates.
Exactly.
Like,
George Lucas, I'm sorry. I'm sorry we doubted you.
I'm sorry we doubted you.
Please finish Winds of Winter.
So, wait, what's that? That?
The last, I don't know if that's the last Game of Thrones book that R.R. Martin is working on, but he's not finishing it really, so we need George Lucas to finish it.
You know what? He could do it.
He could do it.
He could do it.
And then like, yeah, like Revenge of the Sith is very like, it's like a slow motion, you're watching something horrible happen, and like every time you know it's gonna happen. But still you're just like, no, like just chill, Anakin, just don't turn on Mace Windu. Don't do ah, fuck. All right, yeah. Like every time you're just like, maybe there's an alternate version. I like that one meme. It's just like, all right, you let me violate the Jedi Code this one time, I'll let you do it too for anything. That's a deal? Will you let me publicly announce my relationship with Senator Amidala and help her get the medical care she needs to deliver her children to term? That's a very specific request, but yes. And then the credits roll.
Well, no, I honestly like now that like you've seen the whole series, like the genius of like, Palpatine had Luke execute Count Dooku. It wasn't according to the Jedi way, and he feels so much guilt about that. It actually turns him to the dark side.
Exactly.
But, like, at his last moment of him trying to redeem himself is saying like, no, I have to follow the Jedi code and stop Windu from killing this, you know, unarmed prisoner, basically. And not realizing like the moment after that, immediately he's like, oh shit, I just like gave in to Palpatine.
There's no back from that. It's not Palpatine anymore. It's Sidious now.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, a lot of Star Wars discussion on the podcast lately. So we where did we start on that?
What were we talking about? What? Yeah, there was Star Wars. It was no.
Oh, the Galen
Oh, right,
Erso
like Elon
Musk is
Musk being
Galen
gay.
Erso.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yep. Now I remember.
I feel like Musk is trying to speed run being John Galt.
Yeah, I could see that.
That could be a thing.
Ugh.
Um, what else is new?
Oh, I was gonna say there's the whole thing with Palantir and Trump ordering a huge
Yeah,
database be created.
I didn't really follow that much. So like,
So
is the idea? Yeah, go ahead.
Palantir, I guess, is like the private sector solution to like restrictions on the Patriot Act and other like intelligence gathering things that either prohibit the government or severely restrict the government from like building databases on individuals that are not actually under investigation. So obviously, like if you still believe in the magical power of due process and a warrant, good for you. So you'll probably believe that there's a
No, bro,
law.
you can't violate my rights.
No,
I
bro.
have a special paper
No,
with
there's a
words
special
symbols
paper,
on it.
bro. You can't. You gotta remove the bugs from my home, bro. Even the ones I don't know about, bro. You gotta. The paper says so, man. Like, if you believe that works, like, good for you. But the idea is that they can't really build databases or retain information on private civilians. But if you're a private company, you can do whatever the fuck you want in that regard, as long as I don't know what regulations are in place, but essentially this private company is being used to build databases on civilians and totally will not be providing information for a fee to the government about things these individuals are saying or doing online, or what they're saying about, oh, I don't know, Israel, or things like that. And totally the government will not be using that to, I don't know, revoke visas or do other things. That's another thing actually I forgot to talk about. The family of, so I guess a judge stopped the deportation, but the family of that Egyptian guy who like tried to firebomb the Holocaust survivors. Did you hear about that? Yeah, so
Yeah.
they were going to deport his wife and kids, and a judge stayed that, which like I don't really think his family should get fucking deported for what he did unless they were all in on it, which like you can't just you have to prove that. And it's probably like a stretch to imagine. Like I don't know how old his kids are. If they're older, maybe they had an idea about what dad's political beliefs were, but that doesn't mean they were in on it necessarily just because they happen to be like military age males. Also, like, yeah, man, like obviously a violent attack is one thing, but like, oh, let's say you're in the future you speak ill about something you're not supposed to, like you talk about boycotting an Israeli business, for example, in a state that's where it's technically not legal, and oops, that's now you got a record, and now like your family is being denied critical visas and like other things, and it's another way to like, yeah, man, it's like the Patriot Act on steroids, man. Like, but it's private sector, man. It's corporate.
Well, okay, listen. Just because the government was powerless to stop any kind of riots or businesses burning down or people being murdered in 2020,
Yeah, man.
um, when it comes to like things affecting domestic Americans. But the second that you're a foreign student protesting Israel on a U.S. campus, you will get deported. Don't take any connotations from that.
No, not at all. Don't worry about it, bro.
Don't worry about it. So yeah, the family. Uh, my understanding of immigration law was that like basically anybody, the way the Patriot Act is written is that anybody who if you're a family member of a somebody who's got terrorism charges against you can get
Ah,
deported like instantly. So that was the thing that they're going off of. It's like you don't even have to be convicted. If you have a family member charged or suspected of terrorism and you're on a foreign visa or whatever, then they can just send you out.
damn.
So that they would do whatever they can do in that situation. Um, it doesn't surprise me that they would you exercise that power or that they, wrote that into the Patriot Act. Because there was a lot of who's the guy who like his kids got murdered by Obama with the drone strike?
Oh, hang on, let me look this up. And Walkie,
Alawaki or something?
Alawaki, and Walkie something like and Walkie Anakin. Hang on, LR
um
and Walkie.
and I mean, like the
Anwar
Obama
Al
administration.
Awlaki.
Yeah. Okay. And I think the Obama administration just basically treated it like, hey, if you're related to somebody we suspect of terrorism and we're going to drone strike, like you are de facto also a terrorist. So it's like the liberals who are complaining about like this family getting deported. To me, I'm just like, well, Obama killed family members of people suspected of
Yeah.
terrorism. Not that, and it's like this guy. It's on video that he threw Molotov cocktails and lit himself on fire.
Mm.
By the way, if you want to note throwing techniques for Molotov cocktails, you want to actually stuff the rag into the hole that it actually keeps gasoline from pouring over you as you throw the bottle.
I also
Um,
I learned a trick from somebody, one of my friends who may or may not have been in the military, where it's usually a better idea to have like a breakable glass bottle, but you put the cap on it and you have the rag on the outside, and that's already like lit with an accelerant, and you light that. So when you're throwing it, the fluid inside is contained, and obviously when the bottle hits, it's going to break. The fluid spills, it hits the flaming rag, and that also sets it off. But it's a little safer than, like you said, just having like a fucking open bottle and not making the seal right, and just oops, I'm on fire. Oops. Like there's rules to this shit, man.
I'm glad the dude set himself on fire. If
Yeah,
there's anything that you deserve from throwing a Molotov cocktail at people like holding signs, no matter what they're holding the signs
exactly.
about
It
in
doesn't
the
matter.
courthouse,
Like if they're just
like you
standing
should
there
set yourself
peacefully.
on fucking
Exactly.
fire.
Yeah.
Like they could be the most rabid like Zionist messages on earth.
Exactly.
Like I don't care. Like set yourself on fire. If you're gonna fucking try and set other people on fire, that's the most horrific thing you can do to other people. Um, yeah, it's interesting to see that play out being from Boulder, knowing quite a few Jewish folks in
Yeah.
Boulder. Like I just had my friend talking about he wants to get his concealed carry license.
Good.
And I'm like, yeah, good for you, man. Like, let me know if you want any recommendations or anything.
Statistically
Like,
racist Max out here. Like some of my friends are Jewish. You should tell your friend to look into the Jews for Preservation of Firearm Ownership.
yeah, no, they are based. I'm
Mm.
pretty sure they had a good chapter. Uh, I do miss Boulder because it was like it used to be home to Magpul and Soldier of Fortune
Mm-hmm.
magazine and like all this like very libertarian stuff. And it was a liberal city. It was like Austin in Texas
Mm-hmm.
is today. It's like a liberal city and a conservative state, and they don't really like infringe on the conservative parts of your lifestyle. And then as soon as like the liberal government took over the state government of Colorado, like Boulder went full like communism. It's like there's no private property rights, there's no gun rights, there's no anything. And then, you know, it's the second time in like 5 years that an Arab refugee went on a killing spree in Boulder.
That's just part
And
and
it's like
parcel of living in a big liberal city now. That's
it's like wow, a lot of places don't have this problem, but
it's like, you wake up, there's traffic, you get on the subway, a woman gets lit on fire, you go upstairs, the Jews are having a rally, somebody's got Molotovs. That's just living in the city, man. Like, it's just, you got to put up with it. I can't live without my bodegas and my easily accessible luxuries that you can get pretty much anywhere else in the country in various other forms, but not in the form I like the most. So I got to live here. I got to do it.
yeah, I mean, okay, I don't want to go on a total rant,
No, no, we don't have
yeah.
to. Yeah, no.
It was in national news.
Yeah.
Just recently. I was there a month ago.
Hmm.
So, and I,
Hmm.
saw friends and saw,
Hmm.
I lived there for a decade. So,
Hmm.
anyways, yeah. What other news was there besides the Molotov attack.
I think we actually managed to cover everything. Most of
It's
everything,
been
I think.
2 weeks, or has it been
It's
3 weeks?
been 2 weeks. It feels like it's been three, but it was only two. The last time was 2 weeks because I
It's
remember
just the happening accelerates the
the
longer
happening
we're off
accelerates.
air.
Also, like I keep unfortunately having individuals die who I know.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
man,
I know.
so
I'm sorry about that.
no,
Like,
it's like for those for thank you first of all,
well,
but
yeah, no, I couldn't imagine what a
like
situation would be.
so for those who don't know, my friend who took his life early May, like right after Memorial Day, his father got killed in a head-on collision in Utah. And apparently what had happened is somebody who's driving the other way, who was in the right lane, just decided they were going to cross over 3 lanes of traffic and jump the median. And apparently it was literally like my friend's dad was driving and this other car comes along airborne and just like right into the, yeah, man. Like both of them died on impact, mercifully, I guess. But like
Yeah.
that's a lot for one family to deal with. Like the one thing I will say about Utah is like the community is good, especially since they are
Mm,
LDS. Like they
yeah.
just lost their son and their dad, but like there are so many different fucking fundraisers going on for them and shit. So like the community's trying to take care of them. It doesn't replace the loss, but like they're getting help, I guess is the what I'm trying to say. So like there is that.
Okay.
But it's just
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
I
I
fucking
will say traffic, um, maybe not locally, but like I would say every time I've been in the greater Salt Lake area,
hmm
it is some of the most aggressive driving I've
hmm
ever experienced.
I have been in it long enough
And
to know it's like equal parts obliviousness and aggressiveness. Like you have these people who are really zoned out, and when they
yeah.
snap back in, it's immediate the most aggressive person you've ever driven with. And it
Mhm.
gets wild sometimes, man. I see some shit.
Yeah, I had a weird traffic day today. Like
Yeah.
I barely drive around town, like I just go, like, I live in a fairly walkable city, and most of the time, like if it's like, oh, I need to transport stuff, like groceries or something like that. Anyways, I just like you know, I, there was this time maybe 2 or 3 years ago. It was
hmm
like just peak to just after pandemic.
hmm
And I noticed like I would go on like road trips, I'd go ski, I'd go visit some family or friends or whatever. And like the really poorly maintained vehicles with no license plates, especially in like Colorado, where
hmm
they were like not enforcing traffic laws at all, were just like so aggressive. And then you're like, you're what? I was wondering like why um insurance rates were going up so much.
hmm
And then I realized I'm like, oh, it's because we have a bunch of uninsured, undocumented drivers all over the US who
hmm
just like face zero consequences for killing people. Just like the person who got their sentence commuted. Well, we talked about the truck driver who got his sentence commuted after killing 4 people. Um, uh, driver kill Colorado sentence commuted. Um, oh, that's the truck driver one. God, I'm trying to find this. Like, there was just recently, like, a head-on collision. And do you know anything about this, like, head-on collision
No,
thing?
I
Know anything about the other driver or whatever?
I don't, unfortunately. Like that's actually something I wanted to know is like did they have like a stroke or a seizure? Was it a medical issue? Was this person impaired? Were they drunk? Were they on drugs? Were they some fucking immigrant with no actual license and they just whatever? Like I don't know. We don't know anything about it. I think they're still conducting the investigation to find out exactly what happened because like it was in addition to the fact that it's tragic, it was also a bad accident. Like
Yeah.
I saw photos which they probably shouldn't have put up of the highway like immediately afterwards, and it's
Mm.
like it's you can literally see blood and scorch marks on the road. It's like oh fuck
Oh.
yeah, it was
So
bad.
That's one of the things like movies mislead people about is
Mhm.
that like they think when people like get killed, like blood's everywhere, like there's puddles of blood. There's only like a couple liters of blood in a human,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
To see it out on like the ground
It's
means
rare.
that there was a lot of bleeding that
Yeah.
happened
Like really fast.
um really fast. So
Ugh.
yeah, it's not to be too
No. Yeah.
gallant about it. But yeah, it's like yeah, you can just like Google search like illegal immigrant fatal crash
Hmm.
and stuff like that, and you'll just find thousands of examples of it. Like car insurance has gone up like double what it was. Speaking of which, bad bills, bad part of the BBB bill was it made it illegal for insurers to discriminate based on credit score and occupation,
Hmm.
um, based to adjust your premiums. And I will say they wouldn't track that stuff if it didn't mean you might be a better or worse driver or um whatnot and stuff like that. So I'm like, no, I would like a cheaper rate.
Same.
You can discriminate based on my occupation and my education
And my credit score.
uh
If you want,
and my
just
credit
go for
score.
it.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You do not need to allow people with bad credit scores to um better afford car insurance. Maybe they just shouldn't drive.
Yeah.
Like uh bill bans insurance credit score auto.
The only thing I am holding out for is suppressors actually getting deregulated, which at this point,
Yeah, that
I mean, I don't know if it'll actually happen. It would be, it's not, it wouldn't make it all worth it, but it would certainly, like, it would be nice.
okay, here's the bill.
Hmm.
Prohibit Auto Insurance Discrimination Act is proposed under House Resolution 336. Prohibit the use of credit scores and other factors that aren't related to driving from being used to calculate insurance rates. In addition to credit scores, the bill bans the use of occupations, educational level, employment status, gender, zip
Ooh.
codes, census tract, home ownership status, previous insurer, and prior insurance purchases to determine premiums. So I will say, women will now be subsidizing men because generally women get less car accidents than men do. Um,
Hmm.
so the measure introduced by Rashida Tlaib
Ah.
zeroes in on these factors specifically is no longer being permitted when calculating insurance rates.
But
Now,
they can
I'm
still do
sure
age. They can still discriminate by age.
he- I, I'm I'm sure that there are people who work in whatever industry
Hmm.
with not even having a high school education who might be unemployed males in inner city zip codes that don't own a home and who have changed their insurance like 15 times in the last 15 months, who are perfectly safe drivers.
Of course. Of course. But when
But
talking to insurance adjusters on the phone, the insurance adjusters noticed several smoke detectors beeping in the background. Because of that, smoke detector noises present on calls with insurance adjusters will be used to raise rates.
well, honestly, you know what? That's the thing. They're going to make it so like, oh, you have to call in and the call has to last a minimum
Yeah,
of like
but there's an argument for that.
35
If
seconds.
you're so desensitized to a smoke detector going off all the time, how are you aware of like noises in traffic? How are you going to react in time? Like there's an actual argument for that there. Oh, but of course, won't ever happen.
No, we got to get as many people into cars that they can't afford, um, with insurance they can't afford, who will face zero consequences if they,
Mm.
hurt people. Um,
We need more. That's how we
yeah,
win.
I honestly like I agree with New Hampshire on like you don't need to carry insurance necessarily,
Hmm.
but like you're wholly liable for
Yeah.
paying out. Like we're gonna take your house. You're gonna be in. Well, that's the thing. If you're gonna make people not carry insurance, you need to legalize indentured servitude.
Hmm.
Um, and this might sound like a bad consequence, but like it's one or the other.
I mean, it
Um,
actually sounds like another avenue through which we can secure labor for all of the crops that need picking, which we talked about on previous episodes. But that would be another route. Like if you cause a car accident and you live in New Hampshire and you don't have any car insurance and you're 200 grand in debt, well, there is something you can do. 20 years, 10,000 a year, it'll be taken care of. I mean, that is your life essentially, but you did, kill somebody with your vehicle. You weren't criminally responsible, but pick the fucking produce,
here's the
bro.
thing, maybe we could do reparations for the African Americans simultaneously, and that is there are about 40 million African Americans, Black people in America.
Like a jobs program.
Canada has about 40 million people, and their economy is entirely dependent on the U.S. So we could just give every Black person in America a personal Canadian slave.
I like this.
And then, that we annex Canada, we get Canada permanently. The Black people get slaves. That's their reparation. And then it's all even. We're all done.
Criteria, though, the Black people have to move to Canada because it would be cruel and inhumane to make the slaves move and become slaves. So the slaves get to stay where they are. Black people go to Canada and essentially become the new masters of Canada.
Now we're gonna have like 40 million Drakes.
Yes, we are. And then, like, they'll get used to they'll get used to cold weather. Hockey will get interesting.
You remember that? It's only happened a couple times, but it's kind of weird that the only time that somebody died from having a full jugular kick from an ice skate during a hockey game, that it was a Black guy who did it.
Yeah. And they were like, and I think they dismissed the charges against him or whatever, right? Like,
this is in the UK.
Okay. Wow. Okay, shocker. The UK, really?
UK.
Aye.
It's not even the United Kingdom. It's just the UK.
UK. Well, what else? I think we got everything. I can't think of anything else. We got everything else. I mean, we got
to keep the happening demons away.
We do.
So we'll maybe hopefully be back on next week.
We should be able to. Like my schedule should be clear unless it's not, which I'll probably of course I'll know by Wednesday, but like
maybe I could get on with Matt sometime.
Yeah.
Just Matt and I. We never do that. Oh shit.
Yeah, I think the last time you guys did that was like
I am booked next Thursday.
Oh. Well, maybe I'll figure something out. Maybe we'll do a buy because I mean we really should start like a Patreon or something like that where people pay us to have the podcast so that things don't. I think we've said this before. You need to pay us to have this show so that nothing happens.
We could do like Monday or Wednesday next week.
Okay. Maybe. I got to work both Monday and Wednesday, unfortunately, so I'm literally getting home at 7:30. But maybe. We'll figure something out. Because I actually have been thinking about that. Like, if Thursday night is still the best night now that, like, God bless Matt, no disrespect, but I think, didn't we move to Thursday nights away from Sunday nights because Matt, like, needed Sunday nights? Or am I making this up? I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't, like, yeah.
Probably make any night of the week work on a regular basis. Just happens to be next Thursdays. Not good.
Okay, I gotcha. Well, we'll see. We'll figure it out. And maybe, who knows? Maybe it'll just be another week of nothing happening. Because usually I feel like too when we have the buy, especially when the decision comes late, the happening usually comes like Friday usually, or it's like late Thursday.
It'll be early on, or like for us, like because we took the buy, they'll be happening, and then like major happening right before the podcast.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it's in our best interest. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us for another episode. We've had both of our cats on as well this evening. We hope you stay safe, especially on the roads. Being summertime, everybody's out. I will probably be going for a drive myself after this podcast, and I fully plan on being safe and returning home afterwards to my cat. Because remember, folks, if you act a fool on the road and you die, or you get arrested and you go to jail, your cat or your dog will never know what happened to you.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
don't do that to your pets. Also,
Mm.
as always, stay safe, and taxation is theft.